Hey guys, Eric here with Eric and Nikki. And today we are going to show you how to be super efficient with your rehab budget and how we do it and how it's going to help you save a ton of money. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, just smash it and help us with that YouTube algorithm. When you're doing a rehab, a new construction, pretty much anything, the number one thing that gets people making money or not making money after the purchase is your rehab budget. Are you staying in line? Did you borrow enough? Every time we've done a rehab, something comes up. You always want to make sure that when you're doing these budgets, that you always have a contingency and you always set your budget once you've walked through the house and got a really good understanding of what's going to be happening. We actually have even started bidding everything out, then we come back and do our final budget. And I always like to do a price per foot of my budget on the front end so I can be pretty close on the back end. Let me show you the program that we use, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what a budget looks like and how we do it. The program that I'm showing here is Buildertrend. We don't have any affiliation with Buildertrend. However, we have found that Buildertrend just works really well for rehabs and new construction, which we do both. Like we've used co-construct and it didn't integrate as well as we would like. We've used Excel and we just lose things in translation. We always like to have something where we can take pictures of the property as well and have it in there. Buildertrend does all that. Plus they have a phenomenal training staff that really helps walk you through the process of how to use it and how other ways you can integrate. It also fully integrates with QuickBooks. We haven't done that yet, but we are working on going that direction. So come on, let me show you how it works. We are gonna be doing a full start to finish YouTube video on Drummond Avenue. So we're gonna show you how we budgeted that and what that looks like. So we'll click on Drummond. As you can see, when it comes up, you can update a daily log, you can update a to-do list, and you can update all your activities, even has the weather currently. Because this project is just started, we don't have any of that information yet. Let's go up here to financials and let's go to budget. So once you get into Drummond, you're gonna go to estimate. You can see that we have a lot of job costs through here. It's going quite quick. I'll start from the top though. So our number one thing that we found in doing rehabs is being very efficient with how much money is going into the project, and being efficient with budgeting really has helped us in the last 6 to 8 months to make sure that we're not going over budget, we're not stuffing a bunch of extra money or cash that we didn't have to in the project. Let's start here. So the cost code, so cost codes are generic. There's a generic cost code. You can actually add in here, you can add pretty much anything you want. At the bottom, you know, we added, as you can see, trim, shutters, roof, pictures, miscellaneous, low voltage. We added those items. Those aren't cost coded items like there is here. So your cost coded items can be directly linked with a QuickBooks account, and those cost codes are normal cost codes across the board for general construction. If you were also running general construction for someone else, this will also produce a pretty good estimate. So we went in here, you have your cost for demolition. If you wanted to put a markup in here, you could if you were doing it for somebody else. And then at the end, if you end up putting the square footage in here, it will give you the final cost per foot, which is what we really look for in the end. As you can see, we put our vendor, who we use, and then we put a little description if you know, it needs to have that. But these were all priced out for us. So HVAC, we've already bid that one. That came back at $11,750 for 2 full HVAC units. Our electric service was a full rewire of this property, so it was a little bit more expensive than we were expecting. The electrical fixtures. So with fixtures, we break it up into the actual wiring and the fixtures. The fixtures themselves we order from Amazon. great selection, and exceptionally inexpensive. So that's really what we have in here for that. Painting, so this is interior, exterior, hanging drywall, finishing everything. So we have a guy that does that turnkey for us. So continuing to walk down through the budget, as you can see, each time you can just type and it updates your total, right? And if you wanted to do 2, you could do 2 and it doubles the price for you. So it's very, very easy to use. And if you wanted to put, plumbing, working through final price, right? And then you also, if you wanted, you have internal notes as well. Internal notes can be updated by your project manager. Right now we have 4 different people on here. We have my personal assistant, we have a project manager, and we have myself. I don't normally get in here as much. It's mainly the project manager. Continue to go through countertops. As you can see, all these are cost coded. Now, knobs and hinges was not a cost code. Knobs and hinges is something that we added. We like to replace all knobs and all hinges in every property. It just gives it a better finished look. So that's why we do that. I don't think it'll end up being 2,000, but could be. Continuing to go down, as you can see, we have our final. Now, what we do not have in here is a contingency. The reason we don't have a contingency in here is because we have already went through the property. Normally, we're gonna add a 10% contingency. So at the bottom, we don't have a cost code yet for contingency, so we're just gonna hit add new cost code, title, other costs, select cost code. We're not gonna put a cost code in there. Sub cost code, we're not gonna put, we'll just do completion and inspection and then nothing else. So we'll just say any other costs. Now that it's saved and active, and then we can come in and we can go other costs. And then what you can do is you can put, so, you put 10%, so probably another 15,000 in contingency, and then you've got it set. And you just hit add. Now we've got our final builder cost. So as you can see, we budgeted 100, we're at 105, so we're pretty close. And then we just save all of our budget. If you wanted to print it and hand it to anybody, you can see that it's all detailed out. It has the job address, it has our information, and as you can see, it's very detailed through the job. You can also, if you wanted to do a subcontractor agreement, you could save those in here. If you wanted to give this bid to a GC and say, hey, can you do this contract at this price? You can do that as well. So it makes it very, very, very easy to go through. Now, what do we do once we start the rehab? This is our budget. Now, what do we do once we get into the deal to track all of our costs? Unfortunately, we use an Excel spreadsheet for this one. All right, guys, so this is a completely another project that was completely finished, and I just want to walk you through how we do this. So right now what we have is we have construction draws at the top. We have every month, and then we track every single check. We also track, do we have their W-9 on file? We track what month it came in, and then of course, this is pretty easy, but at the bottom, we just have all the total costs. But this is once we start cutting checks to the project, and then we'll match them up and see how close we ended up from the budget, all right, to the end. So in this one, we ended up having about 205,000 total in the project. That is really how we keep everything lined up. So we want to have a front end system, and then we want to have checks and balances, and then at the end we see how close we came. And you can adjust, because once you have those couple of projects under your belt, then you're really gonna see what your actual costs are, and you can better budget throughout the project. And this is how you're gonna hold yourself accountable to those numbers, how you're gonna make sure you have enough money from your lender to get the job done. When you're putting 10 and 15 rehabs out there and you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in these deals of your own, you're gonna realize that you're budgeting wrong, or you've budgeted off And that could cause a lot of problems through the process. So you want to eliminate those as much as possible. This is what we do. This is how we walk through it. If you have any questions or comments, shoot us a DM at Flip This Together on Instagram or leave us a comment. We're always here to help. As always, thanks for watching, and leave us a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll have some great videos coming.